Well, welcome back to Morning Coffee. I'm Keith Reynolds filling in for Mark Hook this morning, and we've had an action-packed day, and we've had some really good interviews. And if you just missed, we just had our financial expert on, Michelle, who did an awesome job. But today I've been kind of dreading this portion of the show because it's sports update, and you guys know, if you watch the show all the time, you know that the MVP guy is in the house, and he's happy right now because there he is. That's because the goddamn Giants won the game yesterday. Neil, welcome to the show.
Morning, Keith. How are you?
You know what? I'm kind of glummy this morning. I think everybody in their air is kind of glummy. I'm not mad. I'm just glummy. I'm just kind of like, But what do you think of the game yesterday?
Well, I had the opportunity to be at the game itself. I was in MetLife Stadium, and it was definitely a crazy way to start the game. I mean, Carson Wentz throwing 2 interceptions that resulted in 2 touchdowns. And I was thinking maybe this is going to be a blowout, but the Giants seem to always give me heart attacks when they play, and I definitely think that the Eagles had a shot to win that game. I mean, they had several opportunities, but no, I mean, a win is a win, and that's all that really matters. And that's, like you said, that's why I'm smiling today.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly, look, that's why I said I'm not an angry Eagles fan. I mean, these things have to happen. You have to, for a coach, look, yes, they, in hindsight, yeah, they probably should have cooked those 2 field goals. And probably 3, because the other one probably wouldn't have been blocked because they would probably been in relax mode. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's easy for us to say that, but as a coach, you have to gain, a trust with your team and to say that I'm behind you as a coach and I believe in you. And I think over the last year with Chip Kelly, they didn't have that. So I think he did that just to back his team up, and I kind of admire him for that. You're not going to always play it safe. So what are you going to do? I think the Giants played okay, though. I mean, they weren't setting the world on fire or nothing.
Nope. No, I mean, and they haven't really been setting the world on fire at all this entire season. And none of their wins have been blowout victories. They've all been relatively close. I think they average about 3.5 points per win, when they have the lead. So obviously, like I said, the Giants give me heart attacks. It's been really close, but like I said, the win is a win, and that's the most important thing. And look, I got to give a lot of credit to the Eagles, though. I give them credit for constantly staying in the game, not giving up, especially after being down 14-0 like that, giving up 2 interceptions. I give the head coach there a lot of credit for not pulling Wentz after he threw those 2 interceptions. I thought maybe there was a possibility Wentz could get, pulled out, for, even though he's had such a good season so far. But I really like the future for Carson Wentz. I think that he really can be a factor, not just for the Eagles, but for the entire NFL in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying. I like that, he believed in Carson Wentz, and that's going to happen. Honestly, that's really going to happen. I'd rather him right now go through these things, these feeling out things, and
Right.
I'm fine with it 100%.
So am I.
So around the league, I mean, the Cowboys. I mean, I knew the Cowboys. I know Pete, the Philly sports guys were saying an upset with Cleveland. I didn't see that happening, and obviously, if you saw the game, the Cowboys kind of rolled right through them.
Yeah, they're an incredible team right now. 7-1, and that offensive line of the Cowboys is definitely, without a doubt, I've said before, the best in the NFL. That's one of the main reasons that Ezekiel Elliott is on pace to break 2,000 yards and definitely has a shot at being the NFL MVP. And I mean, they look really good. And I was saying to one of my friends who took me to the game yesterday, I really can't wait till the Giants play Dallas, because I'm really looking forward to going up against that team and seeing where it is, because I feel like right now the Cowboys are the bar in the NFC. I feel like they are the team to beat. Obviously, earlier in the year, I thought it was the Falcons, but they've kind of tailed off a little bit recently. But definitely the Cowboys are the team to beat in the NFC, and I'm very impressed with them. And I've heard obviously the rumors that maybe Tony Romo should come back when he's healthy, but I don't see why you would screw up with a good thing going. I don't understand why you would want to put in Romo and possibly what if he comes in and struggles and all of a sudden, your season's over. So I really like the Cowboys so far, and I'm very impressed with the way they've been playing.
You know what? And I saw a little bit too on the, they were trying to bait Jerry Jones to say something. And you know what? For you, sports commentators out there, leave the man alone. He's, you know what? I mean, yeah, I'm an Eagles fan, but I think he is one of the best owners. He's the smartest owner out there. If Romo comes back, he'll be the backup quarterback, and that's just it. I mean, you can't take Dak out of the game because the starting quarterback. I'm sorry, he's earned the right to be there. So stop trying to make a story out of it. It's not
right. Absolutely.
And I think everybody feels that way. I honestly, if Tony Romo if he really bleeds blue, guess what? He knows it too. So
right. Right. Totally.
So also another team I saw lost again was the Vikings. Detroit beat them in overtime.
Yeah, that was actually a really interesting game. I got a chance to catch the end of that game, and I got to tell you, it's kind of a whirlwind, and I'm not really shocked that the Vikings are struggling all of a sudden. I mean, it was definitely a shock last week when their offensive coordinator, North Turner, just dropped in his resignation and just left. I thought, geez, they're still in first place. They're still good. Why would he just leave like that? But, I don't know what to tell you, but I think the Vikings are one of those teams that obviously got off to a good start, but it looks like to me they're on their way to continuing to struggle throughout probably the rest of the season.
Yeah, and you know what? Look, I mean, it's kind of funny that those two teams played yesterday, and at the Detroit's kind of like pivoting point of their season, they beat the Eagles, and I think they've won every game since, or close to it. And then the Vikings were at a pivotal part where they were undefeated and lost to the Eagles, and then they went down south. So it's kind of interesting with those teams. Now I know that the Eagles are facing Atlanta coming up this week, and I think it's still going to be a good game. Atlanta is definitely a good team. They're 6-3, I believe.
Right. They're still relatively good. They came off that win on Thursday night against Tampa Bay. They're still a good team, and they're still one of the better teams in the NFC. So again, even though I said that the Cowboys are obviously the team to beat, I still think the Falcons are right there with them.
Okay. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with MVP, the sports update for Morning Coffee, right after this.
Graduates of our university end up going places. Same goes for our students. Because while our campus may be a launch pad for bigger and better things, it's also a prime destination filled with sights, sounds, and some pretty good eats. So, while you're preparing to take on the world is right outside your door. Wayne State University. Aim higher.
Solano Community College transformed my life
and gave me the opportunities I needed to succeed.
I received the same university-caliber education
without the pressures of debt holding me back. Affordable and flexible, I fulfilled my undergraduate classes.
Getting to the information I truly have a passion for.
The decision to attend SCC empowered my future
and made my dream of attending Yale University a reality. Solano Community College, the educated choice.
High-achieving students, internationally renowned faculty, and award-winning alumni. A 226-year history of excellence and a beautiful urban campus. The University of Pittsburgh.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, filling in for Mark Cook, who will be back tomorrow with us here on Morning Coffee. And we were, for commercial break, we were talking to Neil from MVP. Neil always dials in or I'll say videos in to us to talk about the sports update here on Morning Coffee. So, Neil, we were just wrapping up a little with football. You know, who are the Giants playing next week, you said?
Giants are taking on Cincinnati Bengals. I believe that game is at home, and it's on Monday. It's definitely on Monday Night Football, so I expect that game to be a back-and-forth matchup. You know, obviously, again, I don't know the Bengals that well. I do know that their defense is relatively solid, and obviously, you know, Andy Dalton on the offensive side, their quarterback, and also A.J. Green definitely getting some getting a lot of points on offense. So it should be a good game, and I'm not going to reveal my prediction yet. I'm going to wait till my show on Saturday to make that one, but it should be a good game.
You know, I think there's a good game tonight. Isn't it Buffalo and someone playing tonight?
Yeah, Buffalo versus Seattle. And it's a very random matchup on Monday Night Football, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I know Seattle is. I don't even know what Seattle's record is, but I mean, I know they're not a losing record, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, they're still a good team, but, you know, they're not as dominant as they were in the last couple of years.
Right.
You know, the years that they went to the Super Bowl, they're not as dominant. Russell Wilson's been struggling, obviously dealing with injuries throughout the year, but they're still a good team out of the West.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I got to ask you before we move on to the next team, but I know you always do your rants on Saturday morning on an MVP show about the Jets. Did the Jets play yesterday?
What's up?
I said, I know you always do your rants in the morning on Saturday mornings on the MVP show.
Yep.
Did the Jets play yesterday?
They did play yesterday. They played against the Miami Dolphins. And actually, if any of you were watching my show on Saturday and I was talking about getting Bryce Petty or Christian Hackenberg in the game, well, you know, Ryan Fitzpatrick did get hurt and had to leave the game for a little while. And who came in but Bryce Petty, and he actually led them down and got them, you know, a few points. I know it was a field goal, but still, it was pretty good. And I heard a lot of the Jets players after the game saying that the Jets should really consider making Bryce Petty the starter for the rest of the year and just see what they have going into next season.
Right. I agree. That's not bad. That's not too bad of an idea. You know, but moving on to the next team, I got to tell you, I was very impressed with this game last night, and that was the Raiders.
Right.
Kind of handled the Broncos last night.
Yeah, they played a heck of a game. You know, first time since I believe 2001 they were on Sunday Night Football, and you know they definitely played up to the big stage and they looked good. You know, obviously Derek Carr didn't have as much success throwing the balls he did against the Bucs last week, but you know he led that team down to a couple scores. You know, Murray, their running back, scored 3 times, rushed for over 150 yards, and their defense looked great. I mean, they're taking on the Broncos, the defending champs, and they were able to do some damage. You know, scored 30 points on the Broncos defense, led by Lamar, with Miller and DeMarcus Ware and all those guys. I think it was a very impressive victory, and moving to 7-2 going into their bye week is impressive, and being in first place. So the Raiders look like they are for real this year.
I agree. I was pretty impressed with them last night. Very impressed. So before we wrap it up, though, I want to talk about, because we didn't really have a chance on the wrap up to talk about the World Series and the Chicago Cubs. So let's hear your take on them.
Well, obviously, my take, I think I talked about it before. I got to give all my credit to the Chicago Cubs. Great job by them to come back from down 3-1. And what's funny is that, and I don't know if I mentioned this on my show, but I made a bet with one of my good friends from school, and now I have to have my my ringtone on my phone be "Go Cubs Go" for the rest of the week. So a lot of people have been calling me just so they can hear the ringtone. So it was a nice little bet that I did. I'm not too ashamed of it. I'm very impressed by the Cubs. But yeah, I also got to give hats off to the Indians for getting there. Nobody expected them to be there at the beginning of the year. They showed everybody up. They got the city of Cleveland so fired up after the Cavs winning the NBA championship just a few months before. But all in all, just hats off to both teams for a great World Series.
Now, you said you have your ringtone set up, right?
Yep.
Now I'm going to call your phone. Let me see if it's really. We got to see if it's really doing the bet here.
Yep. I'm ready.
funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's my ringtone for a while.
All right. So this is Neil Villapiano wrapping up the sports update. Neil, welcome. Or excuse me, welcome. Thanks for coming on the show. You're going to be back on Thursday, right?
Yep.
Thursday
Thursday,
morning?
Friday, I'll be here.
Yep. For you the listeners and viewers out there that watch Morning Coffee, Neil comes in on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays to give us the sports update for the week. And then also he does a show on Saturday mornings called the MVP Show. So check him out. We're going to wrap up Morning Coffee with we're going to go out. No, we're not. We're going to go out in commercial break, and then we'll be right back with our next show. Neil, take it easy, buddy.
Thank you very much, Keith. Always a pleasure.
Go Giants.
Go Giants.
Yeah.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey